how to use Google Docs to save a ton of time. It's going to make you more organized, more efficient, and more effective. So let's dive in. First thing I want to talk about is how to avoid 100,000 Google Docs that you've created, and then you can't find the specific one that you're looking for. I don't know about you all, that has happened to me so much in the past. But thanks to document tabs within a Google Doc, it is so much easier to get organized. The biggest problem that happens is we forget to create a Google folder first in our drive and then open a Google Doc in that folder. So if you're like me and you forget to do that, here's something that can help you. Pick a broad category. So for example, in this case, I've picked PLC meetings. And right off the bat, what you'll learn is that as you create new tabs, you can simply make that a new meeting each time. So I'm going to click on the plus button. I'm going to rename it, and then I can give it the date of the next PLC meeting. And then I would just simply continue to do that. So now instead of having 50 different PLC Google Docs, one for each meeting, I've got one Google Doc titled PLC meetings, and now I've got a tab for each date that we have that meeting. It makes it much more organized. It allows everybody to access all the notes for each meeting in one place instead of having to go and look for each one of them individually. That's your first tip. All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Your second tip is, let's talk about receiving documents that are quite lengthy and you know you need to look over them, but you just don't have time to read all of it. So what you'll do is, in this case, I have copy and pasted an article. You're going to go to Insert, Building Blocks, AI Summary. And it's just going to provide you a very quick summary in regards to the document that you need to read. If you like it, simply click the check mark and it's going to insert it into the Google Doc without changing anything that was originally there. All right, but let's say that you've got to ask certain questions or get answers to certain questions that might exist within that document and you just don't have time to read it thoroughly. Well, this is where I would recommend you go up to the Ask Gemini tab, click on it, and then you can ask any question that is necessary. For example, I'm going to say, what is the purpose of AI? Now, what I like about this feature is it's getting the answer from the Google Doc. It is not going out to the internet to find the answer. And here you go. It's giving me the answer straight from the Google Doc. But think about other ways that could really save you time. You could ask it, hey, are there any tasks that I need to complete? If so, what are they? What are the due dates, if any? Who all is involved in this Google Doc? So on and so forth. Really a time saver in terms of gaining information that you need in a very quick manner. All right, let's go to the next tip. Let's open up a new tab and let's just simply call it example number 1. So right off the bat, you'll notice in your Google Doc, you have some different options that you can choose from. You can choose from templates, you can choose from the more. Let's go ahead and choose more because it's going to show you all of the building blocks um, building block tasks that you can take on and or options that you can use. And I'm going to show you a different way to get there because sometimes you don't always see this. It could disappear, it may not come back. So the first thing you want to do is go to Insert, and you will always be able to find the same building blocks by going this route. So let's take a look at the first example. Number 1 is meeting notes. Let's say that we have a meeting coming up. What I love about this option is that it will look into your personal Google Calendar and you can choose a meeting that you have coming up. Now in this case, I have no attendees that I've assigned or invited to this particular meeting. So let's go back and choose one that I know we have. So I'm going to go to Building Blocks, Meeting Notes, click on it, and I'm going to go to this meeting. And you'll notice that it automatically provides you with those who are supposed to attend the meeting. I can then enter whatever notes I want, because not only will this provide information for them before the meeting, this is actually the same document that you're going to use during the meeting. And the way you're going to do that is a couple of different options. Number 1, I can click on the email meeting notes and it will send this entire document to them. via an email. I can also click on share and attach, and what that will do is provide a link within the Google Calendar, each Google Calendar for each attendee, and they'll be able to click that link to also access this Google Doc in case they lose the email. Action items. I love this feature because you can assign different action items to those attending the meeting. So I'm going to say prepare budget before meeting. Okay. And I'm going to click on the check mark, assign as a task. I'm going to type in who I want to assign that to. I can even choose the date. And once I click assign task, what's great about this is when this individual goes into their Gmail or calendar and they open up their task bar, they're going to see that particular task listed. What I also love about this is if they complete the task, they'll click on mark as completed and it will show up as a completed item on this Google Doc. All right, let's go to the next tip. Let's open up another tab. We'll say example number 2. We'll go back up to insert, building blocks, email draft. Love this feature because most of the time what we will do is go into ChatGPT or Gemini, we'll craft an email and then we'll copy and paste into Gmail to send it. Nothing wrong with that at all, but I found this to be even better because you'll be able to continue to use this Google Doc later if multiple emails to the same person or persons are necessary. So I'm going to click on the people I want to send it to, type in the subject, and just like if I'm using Gemini alone or ChatGPT, I can ask it to write a message for me. So I'm going to say, create a welcome back to school email for all district staff. And I'll click create. It's going to do that for me, and you've got some choices. So as I read through this, I'm like, I don't like that. I think we could make it a little bit better. I can click on shorten it. Oh gosh, that's too short, doesn't have enough to it. Again, I can change it. I'm gonna put to more casual. Great, I really like that one. I'm gonna insert it. Now once I'm done with that, I can continue to add different things, which I'll show you later, into this one document and send it as an email. And all I have to do is click on preview in Gmail. It's gonna open up your Gmail, even if you already have that tab open. And it's gonna show you what the message is gonna look like. If you're happy with it, you can click send, add attachments, whatever you need to do. So we're gonna delete that for now. Okay. And let's move on to the next tip. So we're going to go add tab, and we'll just rename this example number 3. Okay. And let's go back to insert, building blocks, and then we're going to do a calendar event draft. So in this particular case, it's very similar to meeting notes or drafting an email. The only difference is this is going to go into their calendar. So instead of me creating an event inside of Google Calendar, let's say I want to use this Google Doc where we're going to add notes or what have you. It's just another way to do that. So I can put PLC meeting. I can add the people that I want to add. And by the way, if you want to add somebody, if there's not enough of these icons or buttons to click, all you have to do is simply hold shift key and click the @ sign, and it's going to always bring up your Gmail list of people to choose from. And you simply type in their name if you want to. It'll bring it up, click on it, and there you go. You can give the start time, click OK, end time, same day, and you can choose the times if you want. You can choose the location, give the description, and then type in anything below this that you want. Once you've done that, all you got to do is click share, and they will be able to see that. You can preview it in your own calendar if you want to. So if I open up my own calendar, You'll see what it looks like. I can add anything that I want to it, click save, and then everyone that I've invited is going to get that meeting invite. All right, let's move on to the next one. So we're going to add a tab. We're going to go example number 4. This one I want to show because I absolutely love it for meetings. So I'm going to go insert, building blocks, and I'm going to go to task tracker. I love this. So I would have an itinerary or agenda, if you will, at the top perhaps of this Google Doc, and then this is where I would add the task tracker. I'm going to assign people to complete a task. So I'm going to assign myself. I'm going to say bring candy. I'm going to give it the date based on when we're meeting. I'm going to be able to give it a time. So let's choose here in the morning. We'll do 8:30 a.m. Click OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign that task. Assign a task. So you'll notice that my icon has appeared, and you'll notice that it showed up in my task window. So if I assign this another task to someone else, the same thing is going to happen to them. It's going to show up in their task menu or task window. Now, what's also great about this, you've got to remember, everybody can see this task tracker that you've shared it with. So what I'll be able to do then is, if I've completed a task, I will mark it as completed, and voila, it shows up on the Google Doc that Jim has completed this task. Everybody's aware of it. So communication is quick, efficient, effective. Love the task tracker. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Now, let's do something a little different here, and let's just choose from templates. And I'm going to go back to, let's see. Let's see if we can, actually, I'm going to go back to help me create. I'm going to say create a PLC agenda that includes introductions, monitoring pacing, and review assessments. All right, and I'm going to click create. So in just a few seconds, it's going to create an agenda for me, which it's done. Now I want to show you something that I absolutely love to use during a PLC meeting. Again, I can email this template that it was created for me by AI by simply going into insert, and then I go to building blocks, and then I go to email draft. That way I can choose everybody I want to send it to. Here's what I want to show you though about the actual meeting. So introduction is supposed to be 10 minutes. Let's change that to 2 minutes. And let's say we're in the actual meeting and we want to make sure everyone stays on track. Everybody's looking at this document. Go to insert. I want you to go to Smart Chips. Go to timer, and then choose the time that you want for this. In this case, it's 2 minutes. And you'll notice that all I have to do is hit play, and it's going to count down, and everyone sees that on this Google document. Now let's say you want to say, well, how long? Gosh, it takes forever for our PLC meetings. How long is it actually taking without looking at the clock all the time? Well, what I can do is click anywhere on the document, go to insert, go to Smart Chips, and then I want you to go to stopwatch. Once you click on it, it'll actually keep time of how long you're spending on the entire meeting agenda. So I love, love, love this feature of being able to create your own template. All right, so make sure I got to rename this, and we're going to call that example number 5. Great. All right, let's open up a new tab, a couple of more real quick that are going to save you some time. I'm going to rename and call this example number 6. All right, so you can see that this is so much more organized using one Google Doc instead of having 6 different Google Docs that everybody has to go find. They only need one now, and I love that about this. Couple other things I want to show you. Number one, I'm going to say, let's choose help me write. Let's see, write an MOA regarding all staff follow the guidelines of the staff handbook. Now that's very limited information, so let's see what it can actually create. And then I'm going to show you how you can get signatures. Great, it did it. So I'm going to click insert, and now I want to show you something. See where it says employee signature? Well, I'm going to show you how to make that happen. So what you're going to do is you're going to click where you want someone to sign. You're going to go into insert, and you're going to go to e-signature fields. Now what I want to do is identify who I wish to be the signers. So for signer 1, I'm going to click on Manage Signers. I'm going to give the name to the person. There we go. All right, save. You'll notice that it has a specific color. And then what I'm going to do is move where I want them to sign. Now you'll notice that you're going to have to play around with it. It's not perfect in terms of the spacing and the way it makes it look, so you do have to play around with it, but you can make it look really nice. Now the other thing I want to do in this case is provide the date, or they do that as well, and we'll put it there. Now we've got a second person that needs a sign, so I'm going to go back to Manage Signers, and I'm going to add another, and I'll say this person, click Save. And then what I'm going to do is move the signature field for that person. Whoops, I got to choose him. There we go. Notice it's a different color so that you know who is signing what, and place it where it needs to go. There we go. And same thing for date signed. Now, here's a tip. Right now, you'll notice I cannot click on Request e-signature. Here's the reason why, and it's just a simple issue that Google Docs has at this current time. The only time this will work is when you only have one tab, in other words, one Google Doc. It will not allow you to do this when you have multiple tabs. So you are going to have to use a separate Google Doc for this, but when you do, it is fantastic because when they sign, you'll see the signature, so does everybody else, and it informs you when it's been signed. All right. Last but not least, I've got one more great tip that I want to show you. And that is, let's create a new tab. We'll call this example number 7. And that is simply going to templates. I love this option because yes, you can choose help me create, but I like this because you'll find what you're looking for. I love when they have the illustrations at the top of the page or somewhere in the page, and then you're just able to really make any changes that you want to. So let's say I want to do a newsletter. I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to click Insert. And now I've got a Google Doc that is a newsletter that I can share out with the entire district. I can change any of the images if I want to by right-clicking on it and clicking on Replace Image. What I love about this, I can even choose Generate an Image if I so choose. I can ask it what I'm looking for. I could say picture of teachers standing together, smiling. Now it's a little simplistic, but let's see what it'll create. Once it creates the image, I'll be able to insert it to replace this one. And again, it just saves you so much time. So I'm just going to choose the first photo that I see, and it will automatically insert it. So I love this because, again, you've got so many options in regards to creating different things and saving a lot of time. So I hope this has been very helpful to you all, and I look forward to sharing some more tips in the future. Thank you so much.